Slumsa here, Tinkosi Talk Shows, Find Your Own Voice, Lead from Within. With me today is Rachel G. Hi, Rachel G.
Hi, Namsa.
So our topic today is Unlock Your Playful Side, a funny game guide for everyone. And Rachel, you chose this topic. So this video is a fun educational video that will help you unlock your playful side and explore the importance of being in touch with that part of yourself. With inside me and Rachel, we're gonna share some plenty of tips on how to incorporate more playful into your life, and you'll love this episode for today because we're just gonna let it loose. So I don't know what Rachel has in mind. She chose this topic, so I'm gonna let her explain the topic and what she has in mind for us. So we're gonna get into her mind. Hi, Rachel.
Yeah, okay. Well, I chose it because on my own personal healing journey, it has really taught me to let go of that idea that I can't feel both playful about something in any given moment, whilst maybe I'm also feeling a little bit anxious about whatever is going on and the state of the world, as well as what's going on in my own life, that unknown future. And so I've really learned to not ignore my negative feelings, but to also give myself that permission that I may also feel joy and be playful alongside any perceived negativity that is going on in my life. And I think that for many of us, playfulness, unfortunately, is very low on our list of priorities. Our life responsibilities just tend to make us become more serious and less playful. And so I think it's important to remember that although we may have these adult responsibilities, it certainly doesn't mean that we can't have fun as well. And really, playfulness is just choosing to find the fun and the joy in any and all of the situations, the circumstances, the activities that you are involved in your life. It's looking at the bright side of life. It's getting curious, and it's taking that time to explore, the world that you live in, the world within inside you. And so I just feel that when we can allow ourselves to become, or allow our life to become a kind of game, and we approach it with that childlike wonder that we all still have within us, that can really help us to connect and to recenter and to really re-energize our lives. And so, yeah, I feel that playfulness is vital to our physical as well as our emotional health. And I notice personally when I feel in a playful mood, I feel good, and I feel much more open. And I think that's something like a real good medicine that we can all have and use on a regular basis.
Yeah, I love that, Rachel. We don't have to be serious all the time. I can't do seriousness in this house. So I love being curious and being playful and like playing with the children and just not taking life very, very serious, because when you work as a business woman or a businessman, you run your own business, you intend to bring whatever you do at work and bring it at home and try to run the home as a business as well. So I try to switch off. When I'm at work, I've got two personalities. When I'm at work, I'm a leader. At home, I'm a leader, but at the same time, I'm not leading like a business. I have to play. I have to just let myself wander. I have to let myself wander and just play with it. Even when I see the children like playing hide and seek, we do play hide and seek sometimes. I think most of like every day, the kids, they will like, my youngest one, he loves to play hide and seek. So we have to blend in, me and her dad, and just play with her and just have some fun and just hit each other and play with the pillows and stuff and just just let it go, just let it loose, let your mind wander, just drift away to that happy, like a childlike. I love that. I can't do serious life. I would not cope if I was to date somebody who is too serious, who wants everything to be like. I wouldn't do that. So I get you when you say we have to tap into our playfulness and just be curious about, like, when you're a child, you're happy because you can do whatever you want. And that makes a child happy. When a child wants to dance, they dance. When the music play that they like, they don't look at, oh, my mom is there or my dad is there or there's people I can't dance. They just go with the tune. Or if they hear the music that they like, even if they are out of tune, they don't care. Just sing. So I think that is very, very important. To be happy, it helps. Being playful, it helps with happiness within, because you are tapping into your inner being and you're connecting with your inner being and just drifting away and being curious about that. So I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I notice a lot with my clients, that they'll have these sort of never-ending to-do lists. Be that there's somebody who actually writes it all down, or it's just stacked in their head. And very rarely do these lists, when I ask them, have any form of playfulness on them, because quite often we're just telling ourselves as adults that, well, that's just a complete and utter waste of time. It's not going to help me get through my day or do the things that I need to do. And so instead, what we start doing is just running ourselves into the ground. But we exhaust ourselves. We might even get to the point where we've actually burnt out with all these various tasks that we feel that we need, that we should have to do, that we should do, or that we have to do. And it's just this thing that we become these adults that get lost in their adulthood responsibilities. And so I know that through putting more playfulness into my life, it has really helped me to take that necessary and probably needed reprieve from all the chaos that is going on in my life, as well as the chaos that's going on externally in the world that we are all witnessing today. And it also helps me to reconnect to that part of myself that can get easily lost and forgotten during times that are challenging, like what I'm currently going through. So, I consciously have to tap into that and go and go and be playful and fun and find the joy, because that keeps me going. It is the fuel that will keep me going and will help me get through all the different tasks that I need to be doing. So, yeah. And saying that, what I find then is that actually people find it hard to let go of that serious side of themselves, because they have become so identified with it that there isn't actually any room. Seriousness and playfulness are the opposites. They don't necessarily gel well together. So there is a lot of work around that, trying to bring that part of yourself back out. And the way you need to do that is through connecting back with your inner child.
It's very, very important. Me and my friend, we call it, when somebody is really too serious, we are like, take a chill pill. Take a chill pill, and a chill pill is the mind's.
Oh. Nomsa, you've gone. I don't know if we're live still, frozen.
When I was a child, all I wanted to do was going outside and climb the trees, and the mindset, you just have to switch your mindset. I was like, the children are in that place where they just want to have fun. So I was like to my friend, you just need to chill out. And she was like, do you think I'm too strict? I was like, yeah, I am strict. I thought I was too strict with my children, but you need to take a chill pill. Like, the mindset, I like it when you say it's the fuel that will keep you going, Rachel, because it's about adopting a playful mindset, and also the approach to life as well. You have to change your mindset, how you approach life, and also embracing your joy and laughter and a sense of adventurous. You have to have this mindset of being adventurous. Before COVID, we used to, like, me and my children, we used to be like, when they have half term, we don't plan a holiday. We just go online and just be adventurous and just check where do we need to go, which destination. If we see that the prices are the same price, like going to South Africa, we just end up in South Africa. On Valentine's Day, we have to end up somewhere. So even, and you ask their dad, can we go on holiday? He'll tell you the 20 reasons why we shouldn't go on holiday. We're like, okay, it's Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day means love. You want to stay at home? You're going to stay at home. Us, we're going on an adventure. So we're just going to go and have fun. So I think it is important to actually work hard. And when you work hard and at the same time enjoy life, because when you don't enjoy life, there's no point in working hard and making money. You just have to understand the game of life. The game of life, it means I'm going to be serious when seriousness is needed. And at the same time, I'm going to just chill out and be curious. My mindset just drift away and just be the person that I want to be. Me, if you see me on the street, I tap into my playful side. When you smile a lot, I had to practice that in front of the mirror, actually, although we do laughing yoga on Friday, but I practice that in front of the mirror. It's like where I laugh, and then it goes into my belly button, because the belly button is where everything is created, the feelings and everything, and then it comes into your heart and everything. So I have to laugh and feel it on my belly button, so that when I go out and I'm listening to the music, I'm not just listening to the music, I listen to the emotions. And if I have to laugh, I laugh. If I have to actually talk to myself and express how I'm feeling, I do that. Sometimes I've got earphones on talking to myself, and it's actually making me happy. Or if it's raining, if you want to go and dance in the rain, nowadays you can get the earphones that everything is like protected of rain or water. You can just go outside and just dance in the rain and listen to the music with barefoot. It's even romantic, and just have fun. No one can give you that fun, that curiosity. And some people, they'll be like, hey, I need to be happy. If you are not happy on your own, there's no way you're going to be happy. So that curiosity. And also I've noticed with my spouse's family as well, there are people that because they are very, very close to his siblings, when they're together, they love to play. They play like children. So they love to have fun. So it kind of work with me having people like that. But when I get serious, I get serious. When I have to work, I have to work. But I leave my character of work at work. When I'm at home with the children, and that's it. Children means they have to have fun. You have to have fun. There's no seriousness. My daughter, she's 16. She knows the boundaries. She knows the principles. If she goes out, she knows that I'm not gonna follow her and start telling her off. She knows the rules, that if I said to my mom, I'm gonna be home at 9. If I'm not home at 9, it means I have to call my mom, because my mom loves me very much and she's very playful towards me. She wants me to have a good future. If I'm not there, I better call and let her know where I am and how am I going to get home to make sure that I'm safe. So she knows that she can't walk late. She'll take a taxi, and mama has no problem with that. that's how I'm raising my children, that sometimes you have to be happy. You have to put your trust in somebody so you can if I worry for them, that means I'm not gonna, is anxiety, is anger, or if I'm dating somebody, I'm worrying if they love me or if they're gonna leave me. That is another anxiety. But your energy that you bring, Rachel, like when you say tap into your playfulness, it means that you tap into that and you can share that energy with somebody else, and they'll be curious what makes you happy. And like we were talking before we went live, that about your feelings, and I was saying there's gonna be times where you're gonna be sad, and allow that sadness, because we are human. But some people, when they are going through divorce, they make everything wrong, that I shouldn't feel this way, or I shouldn't feel stressed. But it's the memories, beautiful memories are the ones that are painful the most. And when they are painful, in order for you to actually break away from them, to break that chain, it means that you have to face them. When you get up in the morning, you want to cry, go in front of the mirror and cry. And do you know what happened when you cry? After you feel that relief, I don't know whether you've ever done it, where you cry, you allow it. Like you give the feeling that I'm going to allow you to just to my feelings to take its place. And then when you cry, you finish, you are like, oh, that feels good. I don't cry a lot. I normally cry when I'm praying, sometimes getting deliverance. I think that's why I'm so happy, because when I'm not happy, I'm not gonna lie to no one and pretend as I'm happy if I'm not happy. If I'm happy, I'm happy. So when I'm not happy, if there is something that is bothering me, I always let it out. I have a stick in my pillows. I took a break from hitting my pillows. Now I hit the ground because the ground is so loud. I hit the floor. It's so loud so the neighbors can scream. So in that way, I can feel it and it feels good.
Yeah, no, sounds good. I mean, we can learn a lot, can't we, really, if we just look back and look at our childhood. You know, the child that we used to be can teach us so much. I mean, when we think about it, as a child, you didn't really question or limit your curiosity that you talk about. Children are just naturally curious, and they're
Yeah.
doing it from a place that is from their heart, and they don't really have their mind getting involved. They don't have that inner critic. And so it's really quite important when we want to begin working with ourselves to be more playful, to also have, we all need to address that inner critic that is within us, and re-educate it so that it can be actually more of a supporter inner voice, because it's our critical inner voice that will actually put a stop to our playfulness, because it will want to come in and suggest that that isn't what we should be doing. We should be doing X, Y, and Z. So, and yet children excel in being in the moment and just enjoying what they do. And so ask yourself that when you were a child, what were your favorite ways to play? Because play really forces us to get into the present moment. And so, like, I tend to look for opportunities throughout my day to introduce play. For example, you've said yours. For me, whilst I'm making lunch or cooking dinner, I could put on the music and then I can have a little bit of a dance with myself, in the kitchen. Or maybe I just like to watch or read something that can make me laugh as well, like what you were saying. Driving in the car is another moment. Your song comes on the radio, you turn up the volume and you just start singing like nobody can hear you, luckily. Certainly with my voice anyway. And so, I enjoyed singing. I enjoyed dancing as a young child. I used to put on records and do that and play that for hours in the front room. So those are the things that I can easily tap into, and it naturally comes to me. And just taking that moment to think back to those things, and then looking as an adult, okay, how can I introduce that into my everyday life, is really going to be helpful, I think. Just remember that little you still exists inside of you, only you need to start listening to what he or she has to say. And when we can embrace and love our inner child, then you'll start to feel that your spirits are lifted. You feel just every day more joy, and you have a sort of a level of satisfaction that can come into your life. When that inner child part is missing, it's only when it's not missing do you realize that when it has been missed, how different your life was. For me, certainly, I don't know if that's the case for you, Nomsa, if you ever were not tuned into your inner child, that being connected to that little one inside of you makes a very big difference to how you experience life.
Oh, yes, it does. It does make a really, really big difference, because is what bring the fun side of you. I used to see my dad. My dad was always happy, was always smiling, very handsome and dark man, and very tall, always smiling. So I was like, so he said one day, because sometimes being a man is not easy. So I was like, why are you saying it's not easy being a man? And he goes, you know what? Going through divorce with your mom, it made me realize that I'll never take life for granted. But if a woman tells me that, like maybe they say they dump me for a day, or they go out because I didn't make them happy, he was like, Nom said, you know what I would do? I just play the music based on what I've just been told in dance. And I was like, why do you dance? It sounds horrible. And he goes, because he was like, we are not meant to actually reject people. We are meant to tell people what they've done wrong to us so they can correct themselves. And so when somebody, like he was like, when somebody you date, they do something wrong, don't crucify them or say, I'm leaving you. All you need to do is, I'm not happy, sit down with them, tell them you are not happy, how can they make things better? And it was like, but if a woman comes to me and tell me that I'm leaving, or they manipulate me, all I do, my baby, I play the music and I dance. At the time, I couldn't understand it, but when I became serious with life and I realized this is what my father meant, I need to go back to the real Nomsa who I was before I started working. Because when you start getting having responsibilities, all you think about is solving problems. All you think about is paying the bills. All you think about is solving family problems. But I was like, I need to actually divorce all that. I need to live my life, go to work, take life very, very serious. When I get home, I'm at home, honey, anything goes. I just do whatever Nomsa likes to do. And I choose my friends very, very carefully as well, because I don't do well with friends who are too serious and friends who compete with each other. So I wouldn't be able to cope with that. So I have got 3 or 4 friends that I really, really trust. I've been with these people for 20 years, or some of them 10 years. So I hang out with those people because I know that they're not going to judge me and I'm not going to judge them. They understand my path. And they understand, like when you say, as children, they don't really care. All they want is to learn. They're curious about life. I see my daughter, if you put music in the car, she will just go up there. And I'm like, the note starts very low, Kayla, and then you have to go up. And she's like, Mommy, I'm having so much fun. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, you have to start with the note and then going up, build the volume of the song. But when she's singing, she's like, yeah. And she even says, Mommy, if you're not going to sit at the front seat, you have to sing with the driver. And I'm like, who gives all the rules? When I get into her daddy's car, she goes, the rules are when the driver is driving, you have to sing along. I'm like, but your music is not really my type of music. And she goes, Mama, got to sing along. I was like, okay, that's the law. Okay, that's the principles of this house. Okay, sing along, but I don't sing along because their music is awful. But I dance with my head and I just listen to them. But it is nice not to actually, we have to remind ourselves, like what you were saying, that there's this little person that is still attached to us, that exists. In doing so, it means we have to have fun. If you look at people when they start dating, what do? There's so much fun. You hear the woman, she's like, you know what? He makes me feel good. He makes me feel like I'm a child again. He makes me feel this. He makes me feel this. Or she makes me feel this. The woman will be describing everything, the beautiful things. After 6 months or after a year, that dies because people, they've got what they wanted. But that's what we should be when it comes to life. That's what life is about. Life is about, you go to work, you work really hard, and then have that moment where you don't really care and just laugh and have fun. The mindset, you have to work on your mindset as well. For me, the reason why my spouse, when I started dating him, he was like, Nomsa, you're not fake, is because I realized that I need to stop pretending to be something that I'm not. I need to be something that I am. Something that I am, it means that there's fun side of me. I have to laugh when I feel like laughing. When I feel like crying, I have to cry. And when I feel like, even outside, like if I want to go outside with my barefoot, with summertime, I walk with barefoot. I don't really care. I just wear a nice, beautiful dress. Or if it's raining, as long as there's no bottles on the floor, I have to look. But if it's raining or if I'm walking, I happen to be walking, or because I live like 2 minutes to the town center. If it's raining and I'm wearing my nice shoes, I take my nice shoes off. I don't want them to get wet, and I start walking in barefoot. It's sexy. I don't mind. People will be just looking and they get over it. And they'll realize that actually I'm enjoying it. I'm just enjoying being me. So we tend to worry about what people think of us. And there's a girl that spoke at Desmond O'Connor. She said she was taking all these drugs and alcohol, drinking and stuff. But then when she left drugs and alcohol, she cleaned herself. And when she left, she got herself a coach. She's one of the top model in the UK. And she said, I actually started a new life, started being curious about life. She's always happy. She's smiling. Even when she was on stage, she was so happy. And she was like, when you're actually happy, people think you're on pills, on medication. When you are happy and you want to help people and you want to know how people they're like, oh, what is she on? Are you all right? They even ask her if she's okay. And I was like, yeah, I know what you mean. People, they're not really used to friendly people and people who are happy. And she was like, don't worry about what people think. Tap into that playfulness and just be you. And I think this topic is really good, Rachel, for anyone that is going through something. Don't focus on what you are going through. Just focus on life. Life is for you, not what you are going through. Life is doing that for you, wanting you to be stronger, to have strength. But at the same time, you have to tap into that inner child and allow yourself to be happy and allow yourself to be happy again. Because it's a stressful life that we lead nowadays. It's very, very stressful. and there's gadgets after gadgets. My sister was talking to me the other day, and she goes, we made a comment, me and my daughter left a comment for her on Facebook, and she goes, can I have Kayla's number? I was like, my daughter, she's 7 years old. Why do you want her number? And she was like, oh yeah, I need to talk to her. I was like, she's not gonna get a mobile phone until she's a secondary school. Why does she need to have a phone? I was like explaining to her that she's too young. She hasn't got a mobile phone. I don't give children a mobile phone because she's young. She needs to enjoy life. So I said to her, she will have a mobile phone when she starts secondary school because I have to pick it up. Sometimes I can't pick her up. She has to learn to come home by herself. So she will need to let us know she's safe. So that is me telling, like, my children, raising my children to be normal, even though I have money to buy them gadgets, but she's too young to have those gadgets. I need to communicate with her. Her 16-year-old, I don't know your son. My daughter her phone is her best friend. I even said the other day, can you put that phone down? Even when she's playing, she's holding it. I was like, put that thing down. She was like, Mommy, you don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, phones these days. I mean, I'm also because of the type of work we do. I also tend to like that my phone has become far more prominent in my life than it used to be. But yeah, that's something that we all have to work on because it's too much of a distraction. And it can be a positive distraction, but it can be very much.
But have you ever noticed, I don't know where you are, it's like when you're passing through town, like people there in a restaurant, if you look at through the window, they're not really communicating, is mobile phone.
Yeah, that I find always amazing that you see couples in out together, and then they sit down to have a coffee or whatever, a cup of tea, something to eat, and then the phones come out and they're sitting on their phones. They never actually look at one another in the eye and talk. But okay, that's a whole different discussion, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
You've come up with a couple of good points when you talk about like the mindset. Like I said, that what impacts our creativity and our playfulness is holding onto beliefs that are about how we should act as an adult in the grown-up world. And I think what we need to remember is our bodies might age, but psychologically we don't necessarily age. We develop, we learn things, so we get more wisdom, so we know maybe not how to do something the next time in a more efficient, better manner. But that childlike essence of who we are, like we've spoken about, is still there. It's still within us. And so just getting back to that idea that our bodies might age, but psychologically we don't. So you've always got that playfulness that you can tap into. The other thing is, you've mentioned, I think we spend too much time being busy about what other people will think about us. And if you think about a child, they don't do that. They don't think about, what the child next to them might think of them. It doesn't even come into their awareness. They're just there playing, absorbed in the moment, and they play from their heart center. So they're into sharing and being with one another. It isn't a comparison game. And the other thing is, children don't know everything, and yet adults think that we know everything just because we've grown up. And so it's going back to the idea that you might know some things, but you don't know everything. So go in with that beginner's mind, because again, that's that curiosity. That's what that child aspect of us that can really help us. And the last one is when you start taking all of those things into account and start working on them and adjusting them, you actually change the lens in which you will see life. Because a lot of our lens is dirty. It needs a good clean, because we have these negative emotional associations of things that we have experienced in life that create this distorted view of the world that we see, and it can cause us to really over time slowly become blind to the beauty that is available to us in the world, which naturally children are always seeing, because they don't have yet that, they haven't created that, the inner critic hasn't got working yet to the point that it overpowers and starts dictating, and we start listening to that voice instead of the true essence of who we are. So I think you just mentioned them in a couple of different ways. You dropped them in, and I just wanted to pick up on that again and re-emphasize it.
Yeah, I think it is important, like what you're saying, Rachel, like a child, like is the essence of who we are within. We have to actually learn that by starting making conscious effort to let go of stress and let go of worry, because the stress takes over our lives, worry takes over our lives. Like right now, if you go on the news, it's the cost of living they're talking about. If you go on Google, is the top news, cost of living. So everyone would be like, cost of living, cost of living. And then people, that's when people start worrying about life. And we just need to embrace, just embracing that sense of wonder and excitement. And in our daily life, because we don't get to celebrate our lives and just find that joy within that makes you happy, and surround yourself with people that share your playful spirit. And most importantly, don't take life too serious. People are too serious. Honestly, they are really, really too serious. That's why I said to my friend, you need to take a chill pill. You can't be a child all the time and say, you did this, you didn't come home. I was like, imagine, look at us when we get ready. We have to be somewhere. Sometimes we run late because of traffic, or sometimes something happens, but you have to, as a human being, you have to create the habit of arriving early. So that's what is going to happen. So sometimes I hear people saying, oh, he said he was going to do this, but he didn't do it, or he was going to come this time, he didn't turn up on time. And I'm like, just take it, like, get a life. I'm like, get a life, honestly, get a life. Life is full of surprises. Life is full of happiness. And I'm like, just be happy with with life itself. It's like me being happy all the time. And even when I'm sad, and finding that part of me of playfulness, and finding hope inside of me where there was no hope. And my spouse were like, he couldn't understand at the time. He was my ex. He was like, Nomsa, you are not normal. You don't take life too serious. It was like, when we have problems, you don't take problems. I was like, I do. But the problem is with you. You are too serious. I was raised in Africa where you have to, and I'm even in the United Kingdom, I met English people that are amazing, that they embrace who they are, what they have. They work really hard. They have money, work really hard, but at the same time, they have time to say, I'm going to stop now. I'm going to enjoy my life. Yeah. And I was like, listen, I was raised in Africa where people have nothing to live on. And when they have that little thing, they have joy. And I said, now I come to United Kingdom. United Kingdom is like a bonus to me. It's like a miracle. You don't understand how it's like to me. It's different to me. When I have problems, I look at myself, what I have. I look at the life that I have, the car that we have, the house that we have, where somebody doesn't have it. And it doesn't give me the right to actually go under the pillows and start. I feel like I don't have that right. The right that I have is to appreciate what God has given me and just be happy, even if I have a bit of sadness within me. I just have to find that happiness as well at the same time, because not all is lost. He couldn't understand, but after we split up, that's when he was like, now I get you. I'm just going to have a life. And I was like, oh, it took you this long now to understand what the normality is. And now he's the one now who tells his sister off now when his sister is being too serious about them arranging things and coming for family dinners. He's the one now who has taken my character and saying, no, I'm going to just be me. And or if I want to come and do whatever I want to do, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to be me. I'm not going to take life too serious. Honestly, people are too serious, Rachel. I don't know, but that's what I see, that people are too serious.
Yeah.
And my spouse, we sometimes we on family dinners or family Christmas, we have to arrange who is doing what, and sometimes they will come home and say, and I'm like, you guys worry about those small things? Get a life. Life is precious. You just have to tap into, children, like what we were saying from the beginning, that children, they don't see anything wrong with life. When I was a child, when I used to go on stage, I just used to go crazy with my granddad. I would just go crazy. And now I look back, it's because I never used to worry about anything. I never used to worry. Even now, I've adopted that. When I go out in my family, if there's party, I think I have fun more than anybody else. I just dance all night. And if I'm tired, I just go and sit down and chat to people. If the music plays, I just dance and drift away and just learn to be, the rhythm of life. Life has a voice. You just have to learn the rhythm of life and the game of life. The game of life, it means, you know what? I'm going to be serious at this moment. I'm going to dance at this moment. I'm going to be the person that I want to be. That's what I do in life. You just have to be happy, because no one is going to tap into you and find that playfulness. And also being playful, it doesn't mean you're bonkers. It doesn't mean you are on the pill. It doesn't mean you are on anything. I have never tested drugs in my life. But when I'm happy, you will know that Nomsa is happy, because I'm always smiling. And even at work, there's this guy, he goes, Nomsa, when you're not here, I miss you so much. And I'm like, why? He goes, because you're always happy and you don't fake it. I was like, that is a choice that I've made in my life, that I need to be happy. No one can. I can have my children, I can have my spouse, I can have family members, friends. They can't make me happy, but I can make myself happy. And but anyone who will be watching Rachel right now, and do you have any techniques that, I know that's what you do for work, for living, helping people happy and tap into themselves and find that happiness within them? Do you have any any activities that you can suggest for somebody who is struggling to tap into themselves and find that joy within them, that you use with your clients? Do you have a strategy that you use with your clients?
Well, we talked about it, I think, in the week before, was it when we touched upon intention? I mean, that's important. And I usually suggest that think about is your intention to go out every day and be on the battlefield, or do you want your intention to go out and be in the playground? Which one feels more appealing? And when you actually sort of say to yourself, hey, I want to experience today like a playground, I want to go and be curious and see what's out there, what's going on, you're going to go there open, you're going to be tapped into your heart center rather than in your coming from your head. It's also helping you to direct your focus. And then it's about really intentionally taking moments throughout the day to stop and to pause, to slow down, and to actually, you know, sit and smell the roses, look at what is going on around you, get into that present moment, and then ask yourself, ask that young child within you, whichever one you warm to the easiest. Is it 3, 5, 7, whatever the age is? Tap in and just ask, what do you want to do? How do you want to play right in this moment? And see what comes up for you. And it doesn't have to be some long drawn out thing in the beginning. Just, even if it just takes you 5 minutes, half an hour. For some people, they love to sit down and just color. You know, these shapes, like the mandalas or anything. Like, for some people, that is really a moment where they are in the present moment. And the ideal thing about that is you stop thinking about the past and you're not in the future. You're literally just letting everything go, and you're absorbed in that moment. So make a list of all the things that when you were a child you enjoyed playing, you enjoyed doing, what activities, and then see what of those are the easy ones that you can incorporate into your just daily routine, and then maybe try to find, you know, something like a hobby that can help you to really tap into that playfulness within yourself. There are, to be able to bring out that playfulness, it is you do need to be getting into the present moment. So even like meditation can help, to help you to bring, it's a practice of bringing yourself out of whatever it is that you're busy with in your thinking patterns. That is, because that's what really stops us from being in the flow, putting a smile on our face, being curious, interested in what is going on around us, is because we are so in our heads, or tied up with worrying about something that has just happened, or is possibly might happen. And it's that is really the block. You know what I mean? It isn't something complicated, and it's quite, again, simple. It's just literally you having to make a choice and say, I care about how I feel, and I want to be able to have some fun. I don't need to be serious all the time. I can give myself the permission. I can say to myself that, okay, I want to make the fun a value in my life. I'm going to make fun be a life goal, you know, and I'm going to take time to incorporate fun and playful into my schedule. I'm going to slow down, and I'm going to give myself more time to experience life, not just experience everyday work or everyday the things that we have to do day in, day out that are very repetitive. Go out and find other things to do. And I think probably the biggest one, love more. Love more. Just send out love, because that automatically puts you into your childlikeness when you are in love. Like you mentioned, when people fall in love, they're playful.
Yeah.
You know, when you're in fear, you're not playful. That's the last thing you want to be doing, is playing when you're in fear. So it's really important to get yourself into that love energy, and tuning into your heart space.
Yeah, when they want to catch a fish, they're like, oh, you know what? I'm going to show this woman or this man who I am, and just have fun. But that's what life should be always, even though you do get problems in relationships or even with work. You just have to love more. You know, when you spoke about meditation, it does help. It helps a lot, because you're releasing the stress, everyday stress, and activating your inner being, your winning spirit. I call it a winning spirit. A winning spirit is a spirit that brings good energy, happy energy, that helps you with your everyday life. But when that spirit dies, And it's like you've been hypnotized. When you are being hypnotized, it means you are a dead zombie. That is miserable. Don't even know the direction of life, where they are going.
Your life force is gone.
Yeah, your life goes. So, but if you decide you meditate and live in the present moment, create goals where you want to see yourself in 5 years, and then you know your past, but don't live in the past, don't live in the future, be in the middle, embracing what your life could be in 5 years. But some people make mistakes, they get wind up, stress. I want to achieve this, I want to achieve, even when whatever they achieve, they don't even celebrate it. If they do, it takes one day and that's it, they forget about it. But if you are in the present moment, you meditate more. I meditate every single day. And when you meditate, it does help a lot, like Rachel was saying, and make a list of the things you said as well, Rachel, that stay focused, and make a list of the things that you enjoy in life. And when you do that, and also listen to music, it does help. There are some music that bring depression. Or choose the artist, the music that can bring happiness to you. Some artists, they've joined occulty. So when you play their music, instead of being happy, it's actually bring depression. So you have to be aware of those music. And when you play music, try to stay in the moment, because sometimes the people will be like, you know what, I get stressed at this time. So you need to be aware what is the trigger of that stress. Sometimes it's the music that we play every single day. I never used to worry about that until I heard one of the pastors actually saying some actually music is actually demonic, because some artists, they're into occulty. So when you play that music, that means you are worshiping their gods. But then I started focusing now, and I can pick the artist, and this one, I'm like, this one is up to no good. Because when you play the music, you see the anxiety. It keeps building and building and building. Music is meant to make you happy. But when you play some of the music, it brings the anxiety, and it's like the stress is building in. So I do that. So have that awareness, choose the artist. So I'm not saying go around and judging people. No. All I'm saying is just be aware of the things that makes you happy, and just do it. We're all different. We all lead our lives in so many ways. We're finding our voices in so many ways, but have that awareness of what makes me happy, and just work on it. Even you go on YouTube, when you listen to somebody's things that has worked, but create your own that is going to work best on you, because we are all different. And the happiness, and when happiness is found within, you will never be disappointed with life. When life hits you with things, you are like, I have hope. I look at my children, myself, when life hits me, and I'm like, you know what? Things could have been worse. And then I find something to be happy. Just find that blessing, that little blessing that you have in life, and just smile. And don't fake it either. Because some people are like, Nomsa said, just smile, but it's not working. It's something that is built over time.
Yeah.
And for me, I was always a happy child all the time. Even my siblings, they know that I'm always happy, because I think I hanged out with my dad a lot. My dad is he's dead now, but he was a happy man. If he comes, like if he's in the shops, you hear him through smile, you hear he's giggling, and I'll be like, that's my dad. Or talking with so you just have to life is full of happiness. I don't know, Rachel, what you think about. For me, I believe that although we get disappointed about things, but for me, I believe that there's beauty in it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a choice of how we want to choose to look at life, isn't it? And I believe that we're here to experience and learn about who we are, and that's what that you know, we're here to learn, to grow, to expand our consciousness, and to really step into the full potential of who we are, whether we actually achieve that in this lifetime, or it's a series of lifetimes that we are constantly moving towards our greater potential. I haven't got the answer for that, but I choose to live life feeling that whatever I achieve in this life, whatever lessons I learn, that's what I'll take forward with me into the next, and keep, learning about the full capacity to what a human being can become. And we're just part of that journey, collecting evidence, collecting information, collecting the knowledge, the wisdom. So yeah, I think just there was what was I wanted to say, that the little boy or the little girl within you, she knows how to make the adult you happy. Listen to her or him.
Do you have any words of encouragement, Rachel, before we leave? And also, if you can quickly tell the audience who you are and where they can find you, please.
Well, I think what I just said, well, I'll leave as my words of encouragement, that take the time to get to know the little one within you. Remember, look back at photos, reconnect to the things that you did as you were younger, and he or she will teach you, and let you know what you need to be able to be a playful, happy adult. And as a result of working with me on my coaching programs, then really individuals who are struggling with themselves lovingly heal and accept themselves. They will confidently express their authentic voice. They will compassionately turn wounds into wisdom. And I'm looking for women and men who are eager to know themselves on a deeper level and want to experience a strong, heartfelt connection with self, have an inner coach versus an inner critic, and to be more joyful and peaceful and have a more joyful and peaceful lifestyle. So if you know somebody, send them my way. I'd be grateful to hear from them.
Thank you so much, Rachel, and everyone who is watching. We are here at Ngozi Talk Shows Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. UK time. And please subscribe to our channel if you're watching us on YouTube, and become part of the family. And if you're watching us on Facebook or Twitter, please like our page and give us some stars as well, so we can reach more people in our community. And live with grace, everyone, and God bless. If you are looking to find your own voice and lead from within, get in touch with us at Ngozi Talk Shows, www.hseia.com. You can go through my website and I'll connect you with one of the coaches. And God bless.